Charles, can you tell us how you make your clients money with their investment?
Sure. Well, once we understand what they have, we'll go ahead and analyze it, sideways, front ways, back ways, and really understand where we can actually add value. So our expertise is really adding value to either a property or to a portfolio. And by doing that, we look at everything. We look at the finances, we look at the expenses, and we find out, where the gaps are, and we do a better job. And what I mean by a better job is we find out, okay, if you want to make more money, if you want to eventually sell this thing and buy more units, what we'll do is possibly propose an ADU. We'll do a garage conversion, or we'll go in there and find common area that's not being used by the residents, and we'll turn that into ADUs like we're doing now for other clients. So when you do that, you turn a 4 unit into a 6 unit because you added 2 ADUs in a common area. Now you just increase your NOI, which means now your property is worth a lot more, which means maybe in 3 or 4 years, we can actually sell that entire thing once it's stabilized and get you into maybe an 8 or a 10 unit building, right? You see how that grows from a 4 to a 6 to possibly an 8 or a 10. And we do that through a 1031 exchange. So what we like to do is really go in there, analyze the entire property and the finances or the portfolio. And then we give the investor or the owner ideas on how to optimize what they have and make it better.
So is it done on paper? You can show people on a spreadsheet or something. If you do this, it'll cost this, but then you'll make so much more.
Yeah. So we underwrite it. We'll underwrite it like a bank would. And we'll say, okay, if you put X amount of money into this building, whether it's remodeling all the units, adding ADUs, or doing a combination of both, we can show you how much money that'll cost because we're in the business of construction. So we know that dollar amount. And then what we can do is show you what the rents will be once you do the aftermarket improvements, right? So then we can show you your return on an investment and how long that'll be. And so then from there, we can make an educated decision on whether or not you want to proceed with the project or you want to pass on the project. Most of the time, it's so compelling to do it because when you see it in writing, the numbers are the numbers. Clients we don't have to convince them. They see the numbers and they're like, yeah, I want to do it.
Please explain to me. I don't understand. What do you mean by you underwrite it?
So like you said, we use a spreadsheet or we use some kind of tool or a calculator to figure out what this would look like from a cap rate, an IRR, a DSCR loan. What we mean by that is once we take all the income from the rents and we take all the expenses, OPEX, as well as the CapEx, which is the money you put in to do the remodel or the ADUs, we can show you what kind of return you're going to get on everything once the project's done. Okay, that's called underwriting the deal. We could actually show you if it makes financial sense or not. Just like a bank would do if they're going to approve you for a loan to buy a new property. We're doing that basically on project that you want to execute, the plan that you want to execute. We do that for you.
Do you charge for that service, that underwriting? No.
So, by doing the underwriting, we can show you everything in writing, what it looks like. How do we get to the number? So it takes the guessing game out of it. We don't like to guess. We like to use raw data, and we like to show you that raw data so that everyone is convinced that, hey, look, the numbers are the numbers. They work. It makes sense. Let's do it.
What other legal professionals or accounting professionals should be involved in this early stage?
CPA. We work hand in hand with CPAs because we are not CPAs. We are investors first. So we always tell our clients, once you get this information, take it to your CPA and let them take a look at it to make sure that it looks good. That way they feel comfortable knowing that our numbers are good to go.
Okay. What about lawyers?
Lawyers are good for real estate contracts. So I don't know if I would send a underwriting or a pro forma or some kind of numbers to an attorney. You can do whatever you want to make you feel comfortable. But at the end of the day, attorneys that we use are really good for evictions and really good for real estate contracts. At the end of the day, everyone's looking for cash flow. Everyone's looking for taking care of their investment, whether it's maintenance or whether it's financial. And that's what we do. We're almost like an investment architects. We like to go in there and figure out where the problem is and how do we make it, how do we fix it and how do we make it better, right? So that the investor or the owner feels good about working with us and feels good about that investment.